Hopefully there'll be people. YouTube been shadow banning like a motherfucker, so. All right, so far there's only one. 20 seconds. You still looking for Avatar?
No, hold up.
All right. Presidential touch. What's up, dude? Presidential. True teller. Oh my God, you hit me with a 50 banger right off the rip. Yo, truth. Stick around for this shit. Guys, start thumbs up in this shit, please. I think this is gonna be a good one.
I got my camera working.
Okay.
I got it plugged in at least.
Oh, you trying to
Trying to connect that, yeah.
all right.
Knock knock. You moved your shoes home early.
Yeah, it ain't showing up.
Well, I think you could. What's up?
Nothing. Go ahead.
No, are you good like this, or you don't want to download like a avatar, any type of picture, anything like your original one that
I
is
mean,
the Toby Maguire shit, the
yeah,
evil and shit.
I could do that, but like, yeah, whatever. I think I'm good with this.
Okay.
Actually, I know one. Hold up. How do I change the avatar?
Shit. I think you gotta go. Let me see. Settings. Let me see. General audio avatars.
Dang, someone gave you $50.
Yeah, showing the avatar when the user's camera is off. Uncheck this if you want. Users.
Oh yeah, I see. I see it.
Got it? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've been fucking off for way too long, bro. I think it's
Yeah, we have.
been 4 minutes in.
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna introduce the shit. I'm gonna set it off, and then you go in, whatever.
There we go.
All right. So sorry guys to keep you wait. See, there you go. There's your avatar right there.
Yeah.
What's up, bitches? It's a Misanthropik One, aka He Who Hungers, and I'm back up in this bitch for another, I guess you could call it debate or whatnot. Gender pronouns. Y'all know how I feel about this shit. I got
I'm in this bitch too.
Yeah, I got my dude, Moe Salamander.
You got Moe.
Yeah, Moe's up in this bitch.
Hell yeah.
And obviously, I'm on the against side of it. He's on the for side of it, the pro side of it. I'm gonna let him have the floor. Y'all know what with the whole pronoun phenomenon. You know what it is nowadays. I've talked about it several times on the channel. But Mo is pro, I guess, pro pronouns. So I'm gonna let him ride. I'm gonna let him set it off, and then we'll go in from there. All right, so Mo, it's on you, player.
I can say what I'm pro.
Huh? You're pro. You're pro pronouns, right?
And you're breaking up.
Yo, you hear me?
You're breaking up.
Hold on.
Yeah, you're breaking. I can't hear anything.
Yo,
You're like
yo. Hold on.
making. Yeah, yeah.
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now too.
You hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so let's. Okay. Okay, so you're pro. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and say what you're pro.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm pro pronouns. Just like call people what they want to be called. Language isn't set in stone. We didn't find it buried in the Sahara. We make it up for our utility as a species. So we should just go where it leads us. And right now, it's leading us down to whatever people want to be called, and eventually, just deconstruct gender as a concept.
So okay, my issue. Okay, Shutel. Okay, he says he hears both of us. All right, my issue is that I don't think. Listen, people could be called whatever they want under the sun. I just don't think that we should be forced to say it. And especially when you put legislature behind it, that's a dangerous precedent. And I'm totally against that.
Okay.
That's my stance. Yeah, and I think that
So
is
like,
I think it's very dangerous when you go down this path because we've seen it before. This is how dictatorships rise and other things come behind this. So we're not learning anything from the past if we continue down this whole speech controlling shit. Yeah, go ahead.
well, okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that like the government's really controlling your speech as much it is just like a cultural thing. Calling people what they want to be called and such. And like when like when the government, anytime they do things with like pronouns, like everyone's upset. Like
Yeah,
leftists, like anti SJW guys.
yeah, like me. It's okay. You can say you can say
Not yet, not yet, not yet. I'm anti SJW too, man. I hate them. They're annoying.
Oh, I listen. I got the sense that you were like a SJW. That
Nah,
that
man. I'm just a leftist. I like arguing with people in YouTube comments. I know it like gets nothing done, but it's just fun.
okay. Yeah, well, I like the debate. You know what I mean? I like
Yeah, I feel that.
I like to see where it goes. I'm more center right. If you would if you were
Right.
gonna place me, I'm center right.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, thank you.
It's the sunglasses.
Well, yeah, the aviators, man. Yeah. Nah, you know what it is? It's like when it comes down to that shit, I mean, we got cases already where this shit, where the pronoun shit is actually being pushed into legislature, and people been talking about this shit, and now it's happening. That's my thing. Look, I don't have a
Like
problem
when?
with. I'm sorry.
Like when? You talking about like dead naming and stuff?
You have dead naming is one thing.
Oh yeah, that.
And you have there was just now in, I think it's Wisconsin or Minnesota, I forget, it's one of the northern states where you had these kids were in a high school or whatever, and one of these kids, I'll just say that, was kind of bullying another kid to use their pronouns, and the kid was like, he didn't want to say this shit, so another kid came to the dude's defense saying, hey, listen, he don't have to say that, you have a name or whatever. So would you believe now that the kids are being sued for sexual harassment because and I'm like, listen, this
Well,
is what I'm talking about. It's total insanity. It's total
well,
insanity. Start letting
I'd
that
have
shit.
to
Go
I'd
ahead.
have to know more. I'd have to know more about the case to actually like say something about that. And like from what I hear, that's not like there's got to be more to it than that.
Yeah, but it's a real,
Because kids
it's a
do
real thing.
because
It's it's a
it's
real
a
thing. And you
the
have in Canada. I'm
the matter
sorry.
at hand.
Go ahead.
The matter at hand is like mutual freedoms. You know, does the
Right.
freedom to call people like their non-preferred pronouns, is that freedom more important than the freedom to not be called the pronouns you don't want to be called? Which I think the latter, you know,
What do you mean? Like
that's
what?
the freedom that should be protected. Like
No.
like
Like
you
what?
can bring up the N word as an sorry,
No, no, go ahead.
what'd you say?
No, I
You,
said
you can
like
bring like a up that like what?
yeah.
What do you mean what?
You said the freedom not to be called something. I said like what?
Oh yeah, called the pronouns you don't identify as. Cuz
Yeah.
like people, you know, that people on the right, they like to narrativize and like pretend that, well, not just pretend, they believe it. Like you might too. It's like I don't hold that against you. You know,
Mhm.
we all change opinions, have things like that. But a lot of them believe that people who have I guess like non, you know, pronouns, you can't tell by just looking at them that they'll get like really angry and triggered and cuss you out for like get for misgendering them, which it's like, yeah, some people do that, but that's not the majority of people, you know. Like I know a lot of LGBTQ people, and when people just dead name them or you know, misgender them, they just take it on the chin most of the time and either just live with it or ask them to not be called that. You know,
Well, yeah, look.
it's not as big a deal as a lot of people on the right like to make it seem. You know, there's actual like problems in society we need to worry about that are like
But
material
but
instead of
that's
all
my
this culture
point.
war stuff.
Yeah, but that's my point. Like this whole shit shouldn't even be. It shouldn't even be a thing to me. You know what I mean? Because when you look at pronouns, it to me, it's sort of like on the level of a nickname. You know what I'm saying? Like if I know you and
Yeah,
like if I
I
have a
guess.
personal relationship with you, that's different. But you can't expect me to know what the fuck you are. Like if I'm walking down the street and you know, like you just said, like I'm not gonna know. And the fact that again,
Yeah,
my point is the whole legislature thing because people getting offended nowadays. That's just the order of the day to me. Like it to me, it's just average stupidity. But you know, when people sit around and say, you know what, yeah, we're gonna court and we're gonna go do this and put you through the ringer for shit like that, like nah, dude. Now I'm definitely gonna be just like against it totally.
oh,
Now
hold on.
I'm gonna be spiteful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that, but people like pundits on the right, they like to you know, blow all this up and like pretend like people are getting, you know, sent to court for saying the
Well,
wrong pronouns. But
well,
it just doesn't happen that way, you know? Any big case that we find, there's more to it than the big pundits say there is. And it doesn't happen as frequently as, you know, a lot of people believe.
well,
It's not that big a deal, like people getting angry about getting misgendered, you know?
Well, the thing is, you know, that I like to look at myself as a pragmatist and someone who doesn't like to repeat the mistakes of the past. When you start playing, like I said before, when you start playing with these things, you're setting precedents. You know what I mean? You're starting to
Like, yeah,
you're it's basically you being that frog in boiling water. Well, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. 20 years later, you know, it's going to be set in stone, and you're going to wonder how the fuck did we get here? Because no one drew a hard line and said, "Listen,"
well,
you know what I'm
I'd
saying? Like,
say like I'd say racially, like in terms of you know, what was it called? Like in America, race politics. And I think we've gone a far way in like the last 30 years by setting additional precedents step by step. You know,
mm-hmm.
like even in the 1990s, you had like police dudes on the California like the radio is saying like, I'll give like $50 whoever brings me an N word tonight, and
Mm-hmm.
then cops won't say the N word anymore. They're still pretty racist. We can debate about that later if you want, but
Right.
I'd say we've still gone a far way. Nothing bad's happened yet. I think it's not really that valid a concern that like, well, it starts here, but then that first they'll have a shot in the street for saying the wrong pronouns, but like
Well,
that's a slippery slope fallacy.
okay. So
It's not that big a deal
you're comparing saying nigga to what? To pronouns?
in terms of acceptability. Yes,
Well,
back in the day, it was
yeah.
acceptable for white people to just yell the N word at black people, but it
Well,
isn't, and that
well,
happened through stepping stone changes throughout the years.
yeah, but there's a big difference between that word and pronouns.
No,
There's hell.
not in the case that I'm talking about. I'm
What do you
talking about the acceptability of saying these things. Like you look at movies from the 2000s, and
right?
there's like casual transphobia. But if you do that now, like people get mad at you, and that's like that you can equate that to how white people saying the N word got like progressively less accepted through the public.
Well, how do I put it? The thing with how do I put the thing with that is that was the see, but if you're gonna go there, we got to go into the definition of these things. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
sure.
Yeah. Okay. Nigga was meant to describe a whole race of people, saying, "Hey, look, you people, well, me, describe people like me. You're less
Yeah,
than. You're this, that, and the third, right?"
yeah,
And America was the first to, I guess you could say, progressively get rid of that because it was a generational wrong. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
As far as the word, the usage of the word, it's not banned. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
I mean,
It's
yeah.
not.
If
It's just known that it comes with a scarlet letter. Let's just put it that way. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's less accepted than it used to be
Right.
for
Which
white
again,
people.
I've done videos on that whole thing personally, and I'll just say it here because a lot of people that follow me understand where I come from with this. I don't really care about that word because, again, like if I don't get too offended by that because it was meant to, because I know what it was meant to do. So I don't give it that much. I don't put that much emotional stock into it. So I don't let people get the best of me when I hear that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it says
Yeah.
more about them than it does about me.
Sure.
Now, when it comes down to uh, this thing with the pronouns and demon kin and all that stuff, I'm worried
Uh,
about the force that's out there and people making it a big fucking deal. Like it's like, look, where I got introduced to you was the little Uzi Vert video, right?
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
That's the only place we
yeah,
like had an
yeah.
interaction.
That's our stomping grounds, right? He himself didn't make a big deal about it. To his credit, he just changed it, and okay, whatever. That's his business. Is everybody else? It's like, dude, like calm the fuck down. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you're saying it's not that big of a deal. Okay,
I'm saying people don't if I walk up to like a trans person, who goes by like he him but looks feminine, you'd think they're a woman if you saw them. And I said, uh like what's up, man? They're gonna feel bad about it, but like they're not gonna make a big court case about it. And like you see on the internet, like demonkin, you said, or whatever, like
yes,
Zer, like
yes,
we/them/boys. But
right.
like, and you see them getting all mad and stuff, but you only see the top of like the anger people get. It's not a widespread thing like LGBTQ people getting mad at cis people for misgendering them. You only It happens far less than you'd be made to believe.
Well, I
It's
mean,
it's survivor bias in that kind of way.
well, I
It,
mean, I can't tell. I mean, you have Dave Chappelle out here doing the same type of comedy he's always been doing, and look what's happening. Like there's so
But yeah,
much of
yeah,
a rush so that does concern me. So when you see things like this, yeah, I'm gonna be like, oh, calm down. And I don't know if you looked at the rest of a lot of my other videos. I'm a big hip hop head. You know what I'm saying?
same man.
So okay, so I see rap going in this huge politically correct direction, which it really pisses me off because rap isn't
real?
politically correct. You hear, I did a video about how Lizzo and Beyonce, they said the word spaz, and because two people got offended, they had
That
yeah,
is a that is a like a pretty widespread slur in like England or like Europe, I'd
spaz.
say. Yeah,
How long?
it's that
Wait, how long has spaz been used in hip hop?
I don't know, a while I guess.
It's been
It's
used forever, dude.
it's just when like the bigger you are, the wider appeal you have, the more people there are to get mad at you. You know, with Dave Chappelle, it's like yeah, of course people are gonna get mad at him for like oblate transphobia. You know, just like
He's
straight up
not being
saying like
transphobic,
I
dude.
am Team Turf. You know,
He's not transphobic, bro.
he is he's openly transphobic.
How what did
He
he say that's
he
transphobic?
he has said I am Team Turf.
Dude,
Gender is a
me.
fact.
Okay. Why? Because he back up what's this girl's JK Rowling. What did she
JK,
say wrong?
her. No, huh?
What
Well, she
did
said that her
JK Rowling?
all she said on Twitter, for the last 2 years has been like trans women are not women. Let's
Uh,
let's hear it
well,
for
I
actual
mean,
women. And
well,
Dave Chappelle too.
it's true.
He's said that he's just been saying the same things like it's
Yeah.
blatant, you know, and his fan base backs him up for it. And
Well,
then people who aren't his fans, they don't like him for it. You know, me as well. He just comes off as like a disgruntled boomer to me. Also, you seen all the stuff that happened in his hometown with all the housing.
yeah, but what?
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, but
It's so out
the
of touch.
thing is, yeah, but did you see what he said? That's not what it was. He
Sorry.
was yeah, with the housing thing.
Yeah.
They were taking his property and using it to sell other houses around there, and he didn't like that. He was like, "Yo, like
But yeah,
don't."
he was against the affordable part of it. You know, he just wanted all the housing prices to remain high. You know, he's basically like the feudal lord of his hometown. You
Well,
know,
I don't know about that because
wait when you get
I believe it was
that rich. Sorry,
because during the pandemic he was actually um keeping them afloat. Like he was donating to all the businesses around there and shit like
good.
that. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I get
but
that.
as far as transfer, see again, this is my thing. Like we could expound into language, this is great.
Yeah, yeah.
This whole thing where everything's racist, everything's transphobic, everything's look. I don't know if you've grown up with comedy. I love old school comedians
Bro,
personally.
I love comedy too, man.
Yeah. And the best
Oh yeah,
comedians were the ones who went up to that line and stepped over it. Red Fox, George Carlin, all these people, they didn't give a shit.
definitely.
Yeah. And George Carlin, I believe Lenny Bruce, they got arrested for some of the shit that they were saying. And
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, so they paved the way for Chappelle and people like this. So
you look at when like George Carlin was he was being very radical and stuff. He was saying things that got mostly like he was saying like things that got mostly like old school like conservatives mad. You know, he was saying all the swear words on like live
yeah,
television.
but
And
the brilliance
so
with
when you
him,
get
go ahead.
sorry, yeah, and so like and now with comedy, it's like I read in a YouTube comment once that cancel culture ruined comedy, not
Yeah,
because it silenced comedians, but
yeah,
comedians can't shut the hell up about how silenced they are.
yeah. Well, it's
It seems like
partially
every big comedian nowadays half their set is just like I can't say anything. It's like
well,
make something
but it's
funny, man.
true.
You know,
But it's true. Yeah, we've gotten too PC.
not really.
Everyone's fucking soft. Everyone's fucking soft as shit. Dude, let me tell you something. I
I wouldn't say that.
I would shudder if I don't know if you ever seen Eddie Murphy's I have it somewhere around here. Eddie Murphy's Raw or Delirious, you couldn't play that today. You couldn't. People would be too fucking, hiding in their closets and, oh no, he's saying, dude, you couldn't
Well,
do
yeah,
that.
you couldn't play Birth of a Nation in theaters today either.
Right. Well,
Times
again,
change.
yeah, and
Often for the better, you know.
comedy shouldn't be comedy out of all forms of art. I think art in general should not be censored. It shouldn't be.
Sorry, censored?
Yeah, it shouldn't be censored. If you can't stand
Are you talking?
Hello?
Are you talking about censorship from like the masses?
Yeah. If listen,
Well,
if you
that's
can't
not really.
if you can't
That's not.
handle
Sorry.
a comedian, you should not go to a comedy show. It's just that simple.
Yeah, sure, but you know, a lot of comedians they do spread hateful stuff. I'd say like
What are you talking about, bro? You have this dude. We'll go back to Chappelle. Did you watch his last one?
nah.
Okay.
I saw some coverage of the one that got people really mad.
Then
I saw him.
See, but that's my point.
And I saw him go up to
a whole thing. You would know that he's not transphobic.
No, I read the transcript. It's like blatant. Like that was the point of most of it. Is that he doesn't accept trans people.
What was that whole show dedicated to then?
It was like most of it was dedicated to like how everyone's so soft and you know trans people aren't valid.
No. Who was it dedicated to?
Oh, who? I don't know.
Yeah, his trans friend Daphne that committed suicide.
Oh,
it was that was his friend, and if you watched it, you'll see that he was talking about her a lot of the times, and the way he ended it, it was so heartfelt, and it was funny at the same time. And he says that he has money set aside for when her son gets to be 18. He has money set aside for him to go to college.
That's nice.
So he can't be that transphobic, because I don't know any motherfucker on the ground that's doing that for anybody that's trans.
I haven't heard of Daphne or any of that, but I'd be willing to. Are you sure he doesn't bring up her name to say that you know she killed herself because she was trans and not because she was trans in the way people treated her?
If you, I defy you, go watch that special and see what he says. He goes, to me, she wasn't trans. She was my family. She was a comedian. That's why.
Yeah, that's why. Said, to me,
that's my point. That he didn't see her as that. That's what you want.
Are you up for Longwood tomorrow night? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I didn't want you to. Yeah.
All right. But yeah.
No, but that's my point. Isn't that what you ultimately want? You want to be able to get along with people despite their differences. That's the whole point. That's what.
Sure.
That's what he was driving home. That he didn't.
Oh, but yeah, he. I don't really know about that. I don't really want to talk.
Go and watch
it.
You know? That's my point.
I'll watch it later.
Yeah, go watch it. And that's my point. A lot of people just go, oh well, they're taking a joke. Which again, that's what he does. He's been doing it for 30 years. He'll take something that's in society that's a big deal, and he's gonna rag on it. And keep in mind now, if there was no if everybody was cool with it, guess what? He would have no ammunition whatsoever. If everyone just took themselves a little less seriously, everything would been okay.
Well, these are serious issues. You know, trans people face a lot of harassment, and you know, being trans in America is not very fun. You know, it's not, man. You know, it's like if you woke up tomorrow, you would have fat ass, big old titties, but you felt the same about your masculinity. You wouldn't like that either, you know. And if everyone tried to convince you that you're a woman and just said referred to you as she, her, and stuff, you know, that would suck. That's what I hear from my trans friends.
Yeah, listen, there's people in my life that are trans or transgender, transsexual, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. If they have enough confidence in themselves, because guess what? Everybody faces adversity. And I'm going out on a limb to say, hold on a second. I'm going out on a limb to say that America is the best place for transsexuals.
That's true.
It is, because I always laugh when people sit here and say, "Oh, this and that and the third." Let me tell you something. You got what's my man's name? RuPaul, who's I mean, I don't know what he's considered drag, I guess, but made himself an empire. The guy's a walking empire. You know what I mean? And much power to him.
But yeah, you could.
More power to him. I say, yeah, go for it. Listen,
okay.
you can't do that in certain other countries. Where I come from, where my family comes from, not really that accepted.
Yeah, I agree with you. But,
so
they still face it.
The most people here, look, I don't want any trans people or any people that live alternative lifestyles to be killed or hurt or any of that stuff. I never advocate for that at all. I want you to have your basic human rights. I want you to be treated the same as anybody else on the planet. And I'll take that to the grave. I'll never change on that, because if you're a human being and you're a good person, that's all the fuck I care about. I don't care about your traits and all that bullshit. That's all secondary to me. You know what I mean? Who cares? But this idea, like, you're over here and people literally just talk shit, and you're broken down by that. Like, come on, we're supposed to be like progress. I would consider you somewhat of a progressive when it comes to certain things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we're supposed to progressively get stronger, have a thicker skin. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but I'm saying that as an oppressed class, us as not in the class, we should stand up for them. That's how it worked back in slavery.
What do you mean?
Hold on one sec. Yeah, it took white people, abolishing slaves to abolish slaves and
right.
Say hi. And Jim Crow and stuff. So yeah, so
it's all right.
My sister's here. You want to say hi, see?
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah. All right, but yeah.
Okay.
As not part of the class, we kind of have a duty to parts of the oppressed class, because if white people didn't care about, sorry,
no, I didn't hear. You have a duty to what?
To help out the oppressed class, because like back in Jim Crow, if white people didn't want to keep black people out of segregation, they wouldn't have done it. It never would have happened.
Yeah, listen, I agree. But at the same time, I don't look at people as oppressed or weak or none of that stuff. I don't. Because
it's a hold on. There's a difference between being oppressed and being inherently weaker. It's like that's the part of essentialism. It's not that trans people are like inherently weaker than non-trans people. It's that systemic problems or issues, they weaken them societally.
Well, I would what's up, Save the Polar Bears? Long time, bro. Hey, Carrie, Carlos, what's good? Sample. No, but listen. Oh, by the way, hit the thumbs up, guys. This gotta go big. Pause, by the way. But no, see, what was I gonna say? I wouldn't consider trans people, but I'll even go further. I wouldn't consider LGBTQ oppressed nowadays. I would not consider them that at all. They've got a lot of fucking power. Very organized group. Very organized.
No, they are not.
Oh, yeah. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Only in the sense of like
you
leftist only in the sense of like leftists on Twitter. But like in terms of actual like socioeconomic conditions, they're like it's harder for them in pretty much every way,
Dude, you
even
want
healthcare.
You want to know how much power they got? You want to know
Yeah,
much
sure.
power?
Tell me.
Go out
In
here,
hard numbers, tell me.
Go out here and get on TV and say something that's even, well, I mean, yourself. Something that's not even, how do I put it?
something
critical
controversial.
of that community and see what happens. Look what happened to Wendy Williams, not even within 24 fucking hours. And she didn't
She
even
isn't,
say anything wrong. She didn't say anything wrong.
she's a.
Huh?
I'm not sure if you're like familiar with Wendy Williams,
I know
but
exactly who
not
Wendy
not
Williams is.
even not even like with all that, she's not a great person, but yeah, sure.
Regardless, she didn't say anything wrong. And you
But
saw
yeah,
that
in your
apology
eyes,
she gave, huh?
in your eyes.
What? Okay,
But go
do
ahead.
you know what I'm referring to?
No, but I bet it was something that like,
All she said
these
was, huh?
trannies be walking around,
No, she was on her
Well,
show.
it turns out, well,
First of
this man got a pussy.
and her show is very
Hateful.
LGBTQ friendly, right? You can look at her
Sure.
audience, you look at the half of the crew on there. It is
Yeah,
what
I
it
bet.
is, right? All she
Well,
said was, I think it was for, what was it, Mother's Day or Women's Day? She was like, she goes, hey, what did she say? She goes, hey guys, she was like, yo, this is for us, sorry guys. I know some of y'all like to identify, but this is for the women. We need
oh
our,
yeah,
yeah.
I can
Okay.
explain what's wrong with that if you want.
What? I already know where you're going, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, because that's implying that trans
That
women
what?
aren't women, which is
But
it implies that trans women aren't women, and that's what people
come on,
refer to when they
dude.
say
Are we
transphobia.
we're really going there?
Yeah, I can. Hey, can I actually just like give
Go ahead.
you my my statement? All right.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All
Go ahead.
right. It's good. Gender is not the same thing as sex. You can't change your sex, that being your chromosomes and your biology, but gender is a social construct that has to do with clothing and how you're treated in society. There you go. And so that means gender is not like it's not binary. It's not a one or two thing or a zero or one thing.
Okay.
You're not a woman or a man.
But
It's
you're
a
born.
mesh.
You're what are you? XX is a woman. XY is a man. Correct.
XX is a female. XY is a male. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there
But when
we
it
are.
comes to,
You're not going to.
there's more to it.
You can't. I mean, you throwing on a wig.
There's more to it here.
Okay, so if you died, or if I died or whatever, and they dug up my bones 800 years later, guess what they're gonna say? Oh, dude, that's a dude. That's a male, right?
No, they're gonna say that's a
Down to,
male. They're gonna say a male.
yeah, because it's down to
Because the
the core.
biology.
Yeah, that's
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this though.
But if you, I'm gonna finish this and I'll let you go.
All right.
And this, you got to understand, there's a lot of ramifications behind this shit. Again, like I said before, I'm not for harming people that live alternative lifestyles or any of this. But when you go out here and say, for example, you're going on a date, and this person that says they're a woman really was born a guy, how are you going to react to that if you find out? And
I'm gonna be
you
like
dating the person for 5 years. How
well,
you
me personally, it depends. It depends if they're hot.
Oh my god,
But
dude!
if I find out she
okay, put it this way: if you're trying to have a kid,
no, it's true. It's true.
You want to have a family, and you go, and this person is not just saying, "Oh, I'm a woman," and then you think something's wrong with you, like you're shooting blanks or whatever, or you're impotent, whatever the case may be. Yeah, you're gonna think something's wrong with you, but then you come and find out that this person was born a dude. Tell me you're not gonna feel some type of way about that.
Do you have some like past things that you're projecting here? Because this
is reality, dude. This is reality.
Well, that comes. Hold on.
Okay, so, go ahead.
Hold on here. Let me tell you. So I think when it comes to dating, like if trans people, if they have like genitalia that's not like cis, then they should tell them. But I wouldn't say it's abuse for them not to. You can suck it up and just be like well, I'm not into that, so that's cool.
Wow, man, yo, and it's funny because let me tell you, this is how people, trans people talk about people getting killed, trans people. This is how it happens because it just happened with a college basketball player. that he got off because of that. He got off because the person
Okay.
said, "Hey, listen, I'm a female." They met up, went to knock boots, and guess what? He found something swinging, and
Okay.
he lost it. He saw red. So you got to understand,
That's
there's real life
I
ramifications.
would
And by the
not
way,
say that. I would
huh?
not say that's the fault. I would not say that that's the fault of the woman,
It
getting
is
killed.
because you're lying. You're not saying, "Hey, look,"
Do you think
just so
do
you
you
know.
think
Go ahead.
do you think that should result in the death sentence though?
No, I'm not saying
Because
that. I'm
that's
not
just
saying no.
that's the
You're
gay
right.
panic.
No. Listen, you're 100% right. But again, you don't know the mindset of a lot of these people that are out here. You don't. Some people are just not kosher with that sort of shit. And by the way, one of my
No, I'd
favorite.
say that's their fault.
No,
I say that's
no, it's
that
not. Okay,
you
so
can
go.
that's
Okay,
that there's a
so
there's a legal
do me a
there's
favor.
a hold on no 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 no
Go tell Muslims that. Then go tell Muslims
sorry
that. Go tell
okay I
Muslims.
will,
Yeah, go tell them that.
but I'm not talking about the Muslims right now.
No, I'm
I
talking.
there's a can I say
You're saying
something?
that you're
There,
not that there's something wrong with people that do that.
yes.
Culturally, they think like that. So are
Well,
you
yeah,
saying
that's not because of their DNA though. There are reasons that result for them to be more of a conservative culture, mostly
oh,
US imperialism, but I digress, I can talk about so like
nice,
you're talking
dodge?
about you're talking about the now it's facts. You're talking about the trans panic legal defense, I didn't realize
Right.
she was trans so I killed her. There used to be a thing in the US called the black panic
Mm-hmm.
defense or something, white people
Mm-hmm.
would legally defend that, oh, they're black, I'm just gonna kill them, that doesn't have
Oh, really? I gotta look into
that's not
that.
a problem.
That
That's not a
that, that
problem with the
that's a good one. I gotta look into that because I never heard of that.
I don't know if it's called that, but like there's something like that. There was
Yeah,
definitely
I want to.
there's
I got
definitely that.
listen
Yeah,
again. There's
okay.
been a lot of things against my people. I'm not gonna sit here and deny that. But
Yeah, and it
again,
sucks.
listen. One of my favorite YouTubers, I've done a video or two about her, Blair White. She
Oh
says the same
Jesus.
thing, and she's trans. What does she
Well,
say? She
yeah.
goes, look, she goes, if you're trying to start a relationship with somebody, why would you want to start it off on a lie? You have to tell that person, hey, look, this is what it is. Now,
Well, yeah, of
okay,
course.
they hang out, but that's my point. When you start doing that, you don't know the mindset of this person could be a Muslim. This person could be very
You're saying,
in their
you know,
ways. In,
American Muslims, they tend to be a lot more progressive than
it,
Middle Eastern Muslims.
it
You're
depends.
essentializing. You're saying that
I'm just saying.
if you're
I'm
saying
just
that
saying.
like
Yeah, for sake of argument, I'm generalizing. Sure. Yeah.
they might get angry, which I'd say that's on the person who would get angry rather than the trans person. I'd also say
Dude,
that if the trans person is trans, they should say that, but it's not
yeah,
on them if they get murdered.
dude. The balls in their. I'm sorry. The
Okay,
balls in
okay.
their court. I know you're gonna
I
say
think
that's transphobic, but I
we
couldn't resist that one. The balls
we
in
were
their.
having a we were having a we were
It
we were
is.
discussing on the validity of their identities. Can we go back
Right.
to that? Like,
Well,
you
yeah.
just brought
Listen
into like
again. Listen. For me,
yeah.
if you out here in the streets and you do whatever, look, especially today, look, they got all the protection in the world. You would look like an asshole coming
No.
out here. Yes, if you fit socially, yes, they do. You can't go out here saying shit against trans without being labeled a transphobe. You get tarred and feathered.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the point.
Huh?
You can't say any that's kind of the point. Like you can't say anything racist against black people or you'll be called racist.
But
It's
okay,
just like
look, all right. Let me take that arrow out the quiver because a lot of people like to do that black LGBTQ
no, they're
comparison.
very comparable as like
No,
as
no,
being socially treated.
only because of one thing, only because of persecution. But let me tell you
Yeah,
something. If you see
that's
my
how
black
people
ass,
compare it.
yeah, but you can say that about any other group on the planet. You can say it about
Exactly. Yeah,
Jews,
yeah.
about anybody. So, but
Absolutely.
the difference between the blacks and the LGBTQ is that you can see my black ass. No matter where I go, you're gonna say, "Oh, okay, the dude's black." if I'm gay in one town and I move, you can't make that assumption. I mean, I know the guys are gonna laugh and talk about gaydar and stuff, but on the real,
It's a
you can't
thing.
say
It's
that I'm.
real.
You can't. You would
There's
never
a
know if I moved 3 towns down. So I mean, that whole
so.
thing is
Do you
kind of
think that's?
irritating, huh?
Do you think gay people should hide who they are? Then
No, I never. No, I'm just. What I'm saying is, when people use that comparison, it doesn't hold weight. That's what I'm saying. I don't think
in a
they
lot of
should hide
cases
who
it
they
does.
are.
For one, the persecution thing.
Oh,
For
yeah,
one, the
based on,
persecution thing and the social.
it's just like the civil rights argument. When civil rights, and shout out to Ann Coulter for this, she said it best. She goes, civil rights are exclusively black because it was America's way of saying we fucked up and black people need this. Her problem is when everybody else jumps on it because it wasn't specified towards blacks. It's just minority. That's why everybody rides off our backs when it comes to shit. When it comes to all of this shit. And that's why it's easy to make that comparison. Oh yeah, gay is the new black. I mean, come on.
It is a civil rights movement now. No, you know,
It is, but it
like gay rights is a civil rights. It's rights for
it is based
civilians.
off the definition. This is why I say words.
That's all we're talking about.
No, yeah, but that's why I say words mean certain things. You know what I mean?
And gays are civilians and they deserve rights.
Right, but
they had movements about
it. I would say call it something else for gay people, huh? Because black people to this day, 400 years, and part of it is our fault, I'll admit, but 400 years and we still can't get on the ball. But gay people could come around and look at how many strides they've made within what I would say the last 30 years.
I think personally, black people they still have a long way to go in terms of rights and freedom, but that just because black people aren't doing so well, that doesn't mean gay people can't do well. You can support both.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying as a matter of fact, Chappelle made a joke about this.
That's what he was talking about.
He goes, he was like, gay people came out the gate. He goes, holy shit, how the hell you get so far ahead? And that's my point that they have.
Yeah, and I'm happy for them.
So listen, I don't want nobody to be persecuted. I don't want anybody to be persecuted at all. I just think that if people are talking shit, you either have a thick skin or you use your freedom of speech to show why they're wrong. That's it. I don't think that you should be going back to the original thing. I don't think that you should be canceled or any of this thing or to go to court. I don't believe in that.
Can we like define like cancel culture, just like hardline, like what is it? Because whenever I talk to conservatives, it's always like everything, like anytime someone gets angry at them to the dinner table to like CCP censorship education vans,
Cancel culture is basically how I would describe it is like, for example, the Kevin Hart situation. How the hell are you going to go back 10 years later and be offended by something that the man already addressed, and you're going to come back and say, well, you're going to hang a job over his head about that shit, and he already addressed it? Yeah, that's cancel culture. You're trying to say, listen,
isn't that just Twitter? Like that platform is pretty unique when it comes to to that stuff.
No, he was offered it. Oh, you're talking about what they found. No, he had a stand-up, and then he had a stand-up like a decade prior, and he had some gay joke in there. So he addressed it, I believe, sometime over the years. He was like, yeah, I grew past that, whatever. So they were offering him, what was it, the Oscars or something, to host it. And they go, oh, by the way, you have to address that again. And he goes, no, well, I already addressed it. And he goes, no, you're going to address it again. All right. So it's like, why are you hanging that over my head? I've already done it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna keep
Okay.
kissing your ass. Yeah,
Sure.
that's bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah, that
But
is
yeah,
stuff like that where you're
I just
going back, you're digging. Because let me tell you something. I'm sure this is one thing me and you probably have in common. I'm sure things we've done in the past, we could look back now and say, "Damn, why the fuck did I do that?" Should
yeah,
someone?
sure.
It's fair that someone goes back and says, "Well, when you were fucking 6 years old, you did that." It's like, dude, yeah, I was fucking 6 years old.
I
I didn't know
think
any better. You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to get
yeah.
past that shit. Yeah, stuff like
I
that.
guess, I guess you're right.
If you make a fucking joke, okay, yeah, okay, fine, yeah, it's a lowbrow joke. Get over it. You know what I mean?
There's a spectrum of like acceptability, you know, like even if it is a joke, it like jokes have meaning, you know. They have messages, same as like public speech or a tweet you make, you know, that isn't funny. It's just it's just a vehicle for delivering a message, same as any other piece of
That's
art.
that's true, but you could just disagree like a man, or say, hey, look, this is where I took
Yeah,
from look,
is that
you know
not
what?
using free speech to disagree?
No, yeah,
Because
no,
a lot of
no.
the time when
It's different when you're saying, like in Dave Chappelle's case, well, you need to take that off Netflix. For what?
well, yeah, that's using free speech. That's free speech, baby. That's protesting. That's striking.
No. But you're trying to go after the man's job. You're trying to take food out of kids' mouth. It's
And
one thing to say you disagree. And look, I know what you're saying.
Dave Chappelle is worth Dave
the
Chappelle is like
foundation
worth
of it is
millions,
free
bro.
speech. You're right. But you're at the end of the day, you're trying to make sure you're trying to exile somebody. For what? For doing something you could simply just walk away from, or say, look, I know he's a comedian, but this and this I disagree with. Back in the day, that's what people used to do. Like, if someone didn't like George Carlin, they're not gonna go, huh?
And things were way worse back in the day. Let's remember, because people getting angry at people for saying things they disagree with. That's free speech. You know, that's the free market. That's capitalism,
true.
man.
That's
If
true.
people want to protest Netflix because Dave Chappelle said something unacceptable, which it is unacceptable. That's like by most people, me included. Let's be honest. They have the right to get mad at Dave Chappelle. It's not
But
like he's having trouble putting food on his kid's plate, you know?
Okay. Yeah, but that's not for you to say. That's not for you to make that determination.
It is. It totally is.
It's not.
I'm one of his fans.
No, it's not. No. Let me reword that. That's not for you to determine whether or not he's comfortable. You're essentially counting the man's money, saying, "Oh, well, he's fine. He could lose a few million. He's fine." Like, who are you to make that decision? You know what I'm saying?
You know what he does?
What?
You know what his job is?
His job is to be a
His
comedian.
job is to deliver.
His job
Yeah,
is
his
to make
job is
people
to
laugh.
make people like his comedy.
Right.
If people don't like his comedy, they don't.
Mhm.
They have the right to get mad at it. You know, they pay his bills. They don't owe him anything.
Yeah,
It is
but
our place to get mad at him. You know, if his fans still want to watch him and stuff, that's their right. You know.
yeah, but the thing is, yeah, but you're trying to deny that right from me by saying take him off. That's my point. You're going that far to say, well, take him off. Nobody needs to
You can
watch.
still watch his stuff.
The point is that you're trying to exile him, just like
Okay,
with
you can still watch him.
Dude. The point is, you've had people like, let's say Louis C.K., for example. Whether or not you agree with what he did, I'm not even going to go into that. The point
Does
is,
anyone agree? Do you agree with it?
I don't think it was that big of a deal. I don't think it was that big of a deal.
Man.
No, because
Christ,
he
bro.
asked. Look, without getting too far in the weeds, he asked before he did what he did. Is it weird? Yeah, but he asked. He said, "Hey, look." They were like, "Oh, okay," and then look. My point is this:
whatever.
You shouldn't have to go and say, this motherfucker ain't gonna eat. This motherfucker ain't gonna make no money. See, back in the day, like with, we'll say, WWE or WWF, how many people were coming? The right were coming after him, and Vince McMahon. And guess
Who?
what? He just said, "Well, yo, just don't
For
watch my
saying the
shit."
N word?
Huh?
For saying the N word? For
No,
like
no,
saying the
no,
N
no.
word?
Just for existing, and people
Oh,
enjoy that stuff. He's a businessman, so why should everybody else's fun be denied because a few fucking people can't handle it? Just say, hey, look.
because
Just
he.
say, just say, look. I don't like it. I get that. I know what you're trying to say. That the foundation of saying it is free speech. I understand that. But when you start going for people's jobs, that's a problem. That's the
I
issue.
I see that when it's like when it's people with jobs that aren't like selling people something, like not a comedian. Like if you're working sales or something and you get fired because you said like an edgy tweet, which doesn't happen often, but
The
like
job,
if
dude.
your job is to make people if your job is to make people happy, like if your job is to make movies and sell movies and you make movies that a lot of
Mhm.
people don't like, then they don't owe you anything. They're gonna
No, you're right.
they're gonna if they attack you, if they take down your movie because it's bad, that's your fault because you made them upset. You know?
No, 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 no. It's one thing if you say, look, I watched it. I don't like the dude. Like he's crass, blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna go watch it. And you stop there. That's no problem. That's like, literally watching like a trailer on YouTube and people are gonna leave whether they like it or they dislike it. Don't have a problem with that because that's how the world works. People are just gonna have different opinions. That's fine. When you go that extra mile to say, well, you know what? Yeah, I don't like it, so therefore the world shouldn't see it. That's the problem. That's what I'm
There's
saying.
so,
Huh?
I guess you're right, but I'd also say that there's some things that backlash has like impacted our society in a good way. If people
Like,
didn't like having racist like openly racist movies, I'd say people getting angry at that and telling theaters to stop showing it is a good thing, and it's
like,
impacted our society in a good way. Like
like,
you said, like
yeah, like,
I don't know, any, but like I'm sure like that
hey,
that's how
hey, I'm-
yeah,
what's
but
up,
that's how
Pastor?
huh.
No, no, I was saying what's up to somebody in the chat.
Okay, but yeah, like that's how progress works. We as a society progress further, time goes on, we realize that some things they're they shouldn't be said, and we should stamp them out, and they get stamped out, and that's how those bad things they become better.
I
And I think
agree. I, I agree to an extent. I agree that you see this in shit right now, in entertainment right now. I agree with progression if it's natural, not when people are forcing it. You can't
well
force.
this is natural progression.
Uh,
What clicked just in the past like 5 years that everyone's starting to unnaturally progress that hasn't been happening for the last like until like the beginning of history.
what do you mean?
Like this is just how societies progress further with social issues. We we find ideas to be we realize that they're bad ideas, and then we try to excise those ideas from our cultural consciousness
You
through getting mad at buildings or corporations and such for doing hurtful things. That's the free market. If we think it's bad, we can take it down like through legal means or illegal means in a lot of
know,
cases.
yeah,
If
but
if you
okay.
if I mean if you bomb like a corporation, then like that's still progressing. It's
No, it's
protest,
not because what if you have innocent people
You
that get hurt behind that? People
well,
don't think
that's
about that. People
they
just
get
go,
hurt in
"Oh,
the
what?
protest, like
Huh?"
The Unabomber, the Unabomber.
Oh, so
Like
you're
he
one
was
of those
protesting,
collateral damage. You one of those collateral damage dudes.
huh?
Like, oh well, whatever. Who
No,
cares?
I don't agree. I don't agree with hurting civilians, but like it's just natural, People protest things, whether or
No,
not
look,
that
I
anything
get
like
that. I get that, and I feel that yeah, if you protest and you make a fair, what's the word? Like a fair.
Stand.
argument, yeah, or stance or whatever, where the person, that's why I enjoy
against
debate, because when you stump somebody, you're gonna see, oh shit, okay, yeah, that makes sense, or you might influence the next person to come up with that clean energy. Okay, I'll give you an example. You're a lefty guy.
Yeah.
I forget the name of this kid, and they do not promote the shit out of this kid. Don't ask me why, but this is a kid who can change the world. But instead, they're promoting clowns like what's the chick, the little girl, Greta
Greta Thunberg.
Thunberg, AOC. Oh, climate change, this and that. There's a kid who created it's this thing he puts in water, and it sucks the like the plastics and recyclables in, and it converts it into, like, I forget what the hell it is. So it essentially destroys it and turns into clean energy or some shit like that. And
That's
you
good.
would
But
think,
is he a media figure though?
no, the thing is, yeah, but you would
Yeah.
think that we should prop that kid up. Yeah, get him to
Yeah.
we don't want. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's good that he created like inventions that help out the world, and that's great. But it's a building inventions and becoming a public influencer. You could say they're different jobs. Popularity does not really equal like how much you contribute, but popularity can be one of the job aspects.
Well,
Like, that's just not his job to
what
get
I'm saying,
popular. I guess
no, but I'm saying it's
it
basically
would
like,
help if he did.
that's what I'm saying. We should be propping him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why, again, a lot of I guess we're getting a little bit off of it, but a lot of lefty shit, I don't really take it seriously, because like climate change, for one, it's like a lot of these people that talk that shit, they're not living like that. Let's be honest, they're not. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Well,
well,
I mean,
not you personally, but the people that say these things, it's like, yo, you ain't living like that. So why am I going to?
I guess, but
huh?
You talking like corporations and stuff? Because corporations do not.
Celebrities, whatever, like people
Yeah,
be like,
I'd say that.
people,
It's
yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it's good when like climate change, that like the opposition to climate change, it isn't made through individual choices. Like the ozone didn't heal itself because everybody individually chose through some like personal choice revolution to just not use plastic straws. It happened through legislation, and corporations and stuff. And corporations, they don't have feelings. Even if the people running them have feelings, like the job of a corporation is to make money, and no one in it is gonna protest that. So we really need to be looking at legislation for climate, to fix the climate instead of personal choice.
Well,
I'd say that's a huge that's the big thing that like annoys me about conservatives, is that they boil everything down to like personal choice. It's like if they take, I feel like no, it really isn't, because like if you look at like politicians, they don't look at numbers. Like in one area, like 500 people eat bats and die, and in another area, like 10 people eat bats and die. They think, well, I guess those people just really like eating bats. Like, no, you're supposed to look at, well, what forced like, why are these people eating bats? What led them to eat bats?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I would say it is individual choice, just like it's an individual's choice to choose a pronoun. No.
I don't really understand. I don't understand.
Oh, you were saying that
no.
It's really not an individual's choice. It was, so I'm just bringing it back.
Oh yeah, it's an individual's choice to choose a pronoun. Yeah, definitely. Exactly. But like talking like socioeconomically, people aren't buying cars as much as they used to for reasons that go beyond genetics. That's essentialism, and it's fascist.
I don't know. I've never heard that argument, but I mean,
it's true. People, it's like the millennials are lazy argument. Like, do you think millennials are lazy?
It depends. It depends.
Because like
I'm not gonna sit here and generalize because there's a lot of millennials that are cool as fuck, but um, I will say that there's a lot, like, considering with the pandemic really opened my eyes to a lot of shit, and a lot of these people believe that shit should be handed to them. Yeah, no, I don't. I wasn't raised like that.
yeah, well that's a that's another personal choice thing that like yeah, you can look at individual people and individual people can prosper, but to do that is to be exceptional, to exceed your others, you know. There are good consequences that come from like government programs that, you know, support people that go beyond like, oh, they're not working, they're getting free money, you know. Good things come out of that and outcomes are what I like to base my political opinions on, you know.
No, you okay? So you're talking about like welfare?
Yeah, I guess.
No, okay. Well, like my stance, I guess, on welfare is, yeah, it's necessary. But I don't think that it should be something that is a permanent thing, unless like you're fucked up and obviously you're like your arms are blown off and you can't do. Yeah, I get that, but you have a lot of people that scam the system. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm being serious.
I Most people don't. I'd say that the amount of people that
I
scam the
know that.
system
I know.
is like
Look, again, but my thing is, I like to plug up the holes. You know what I mean? Because I've seen a lot of welfare. I guess I don't know if how in tune you are to the Black community and stuff, but we have things called the welfare
I'm pretty.
queen.
Oh
Yeah,
my, that's a
there's
lie, man.
there's a
Or when
no,
it's not a lie, it's
there's a reason why that.
there's
Listen,
a
there's a reason why that is, and I've seen it with my own eyes. Trust me, it exists. It
there's a
exists.
you know that
It
with
exists.
the whole welfare queen like narrative that like every black person is
I didn't say
collecting
every.
welfare, making more than your
Every.
yeah. I'm talking about the narrative that that was invented in like Ronald Reagan era still carries through a lot of conservatism today. That like they're all collecting welfare, you know, not working. That's just not. It's just not true, you know. Plus, when you're talking about welfare, you got to look at you're looking at hard numbers and like how well are these people doing financially, and by supporting them, they're doing better financially. So instead
Well,
of looking at a
so
personal, well, you can work hard and make a living. It's
yeah.
better to look at, well, if I give $10,000 to this amount of people, they live better lives, and it
Well,
reduces
yeah, but
wealth inequality.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little bit too old school. Maybe it's just that African upbringing that I got.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe.
that I'm dead ass.
You
Like,
grew up in Africa?
no, my parents are African.
Sorry.
My parents are
Oh,
from
cool.
Africa. My mother's from Cameroon and my dad's from Sierra Leone. Well,
Dope,
listen,
man.
my family is like, yo, you're getting out here. We don't want to hear no shit. You know what I mean? Like, get out here. You're gonna go to school. You're gonna get a job. You're gonna make something of yourself. We don't want to hear shit. You know what I mean?
And you
So,
did.
I mean, I try. I listen. You gotta do it, bro. Especially in America, dude. Like, you can't. There's too many rags to riches stories here. You know what I mean? You gotta
Well,
just
that's
you gotta dig. And again, I do feel for people that how you say that are fucked up, down on their luck and all that shit. I totally agree with that. Like, yeah, but there are people that exist, and not just black women, because the welfare queen a stereotype goes beyond black women. I'm just saying that I've seen it in the black community, but
yeah, I get that.
there are people that will sit and say, I don't have to get up. If I'm going to get this free money and I just maintain this housing and I'm good. You know what I mean? And that just, to me, you're just whatever. You know what I mean? You're just very sedentary to me. You're not doing anything. You're not being productive.
I guess, but that's again looking at it on an individualistic level. But like when you look at it big picture, like welfare helps, it helps a lot of people, which is ultimately what I want to do. Like at the end of the day, that's like I hear my stepmother. She works at like a, you know, like a gentrified school, you know, a lot of black population. They
Mhm.
serve free lunches and or free breakfast. Don't even like ask your ID. She complains about that. Like you could walk in and get a sandwich and nothing, and they don't check. And I'm like, that's like for the one person that gets a free sandwich and doesn't go to the school, there's like 200 kids that are doing it legitimately. You know,
True. Uh,
I'd say that's like a good thing.
I mean, I guess,
Plus, like
you know,
black people still have not recovered from like, you know, long systemic problems.
um, yes and no.
My God, the average black woman in the U.S. is worth $5. If that's not like they own like 1/50th of the amount of like
And
white people, like
and
wealth
the
wise, that is not like they have not recovered, man.
and the
It is
average
not
the average the average black woman that goes to college is graduating at an alarming rate. They're
that goes to
becoming
college.
CEO. Yeah, that comes out. They're becoming
How many
lawyers.
get to go to college though? Only the ones with well upbringings get to go to college. So
That's not true.
that's
That's not true.
no, that's very true.
That's not true.
There's sociological problems that go into
There's
that.
a lot. There's a lot of them that are independent entrepreneurs. A lot of them
Well,
doing their
yeah,
thing.
a
A
lot of them.
lot.
But
If
when
you
you
look
look
at
big,
go on the shade room, you can see they highlight all of these women that are a lot of them going independent, which I'm a big proponent of. Like you don't have to go to college route. As a matter of fact, I can't stand college. I say you should go get a trade, but that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, there's a lot of black women doing their
yeah,
thing.
well,
A
there
ton of
is, and that's good. But if but there's most black women like the average black woman is worth $5 in America, which is ludicrous. You know,
bro.
it all has to do with, you know, generational wealth and stuff, gentrification.
Bruh. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm just saying, you got so many avenues on here. I seen so many
Mm,
alone. YouTube alone. Come on. You got so many
y-
women on here.
there,
You got uh
yeah,
channels
well,
about cooking, this one doing this one. It's like, yo, bro, like you ain't gonna go nowhere else and have opportunities like you do over here.
that's well, you get more opportunities in like one of some of the European like cities that have better welfare states, but I mean, when you're worth less money, you inherently have less freedom to
How
do things.
where how did how are they worth less money?
Well, they just have less money. They have less
How?
wealth. That's not because of it's because of long systemic discrimination stemming from redlining and generational wealth, you know. It's like if your friends are playing a game of Monopoly for 30 minutes and then you come in 30 minutes later and they already have a bunch of money and their money is multiplying, getting given to their grandkids. That's not how Monopoly works, but like
Talking about the
hypothetically, you know.
you're okay. You're
I'm
you're
talking about like black oppression.
you're okay. So you're believing equity then?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know, man.
Cause there are two things that could possibly lead to black inequality, you know, with white people. There are
Mhm.
only two things that could possibly. It's either genetics or systemic inequality, and it sure as hell isn't genetics.
Well, I'm just gonna say I'm a big believer in equal opportunity because
Yeah, me too.
even when we were at our worst, we were at our best. When we were at our worst, we were at our best. And that's a goddamn fact.
Nah,
Yes, we were. We had
that's
three black.
if you
We
look at the
had
numbers.
we had 3 Black Wall Streets, not just the one in fucking Oklahoma that everyone knows. We had 3 Black Wall Streets. We were dressed up in suits and ties. We had our own businesses. Everyone had a fucking trade, this and that, until the KKK started bombing churches and shit like that. But we had our own shit going on. We had 2 family households, this, that, and the third. We had shit on lock.
Yeah, but look at the wealth.
What do
White
you mean?
people owned way more wealth.
Right.
If you look at all the money in America, white people have always owned more money than black people.
Right.
And that's either a result of genetics or a result of systems.
Listen, I'm
and
not
it isn't
gonna
genetics.
deny systematic oppression and all that shit, but
All right, good.
there was a moment of time where we were doing our thing. We
Right
didn't
out of
have
slavery?
we didn't
Talking
have
about-
huh?
Are you talking about like right out of slavery?
Yeah, well, yeah, what Booker T. Washington was telling black folk, hey, listen, you go do this, you go get a trip. Booker T. Washington versus W.E.B. Du Bois. W.E.B. Du Bois was saying to black people, we're going to take 10% of the intelligent, the highly educated blacks. You go out, go learn something, bring it back to the black community. Booker T. Washington said, nah. He goes, no, everybody is going to be indispensable. I side with Booker T. Washington because had the 10% went out, they could have known their worth and been like, nah, why the fuck am I going to go back? But if everyone has a trade, a skill, guess what? We don't need to rely on no fucking race outside of our own. And we would be super competitive. And that's what happened, because guess what? You would have white people that for example, a white person says, oh man, my sink is broken. Let me get a plumber to come over here. You might have a white plumber say, all right, I'll fix that for $100, but the black plumber will do it for 50. Guess what? That white man might be racist as fuck, but guess what? He'll be like, all right, yeah, I'll take the 50. I'll do the $50 job.
That's not what happened though. If you look at Detroit, black workers after slavery, they went up to Detroit for jobs in the auto industry. But then a bunch of racist, white people who were there, they were racist as hell. They didn't hire black people. They moved out to the suburbs and built suburbs to flee the cities.
I'm not saying that. I was saying black people amongst themselves, and we were doing it until how did Black Wall Street get created then? If there was no money whatsoever, if there was no money whatsoever, how the fuck did that get created?
Well, there's not no money. How much was Black Wall Street worth in comparison to like White Wall Street?
Obviously, it was enough to be a threat,
right?
Obviously, it was enough to be a threat where white people had to come burn it down. So that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Obviously, it was that much of a threat.
I'm not really sure that
white people wouldn't come burn it down if we were just doing our thing over there and we weren't considered a threat. Why would they go and burn it down?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
They were too scared of their white women.
Huh?
They were too scared for their white women.
Okay, dude. Whatever, dude. I mean, you saying that shit.
No, I'm not defending it. I think it's like repulsive.
Hey, listen, there's a lot of things in society, history, all that shit. Again, I read up on a lot of this shit. Miseducation of the Negro, all these successful black people. A lot of them, believe it or not, were against this. This liberal-minded lefty. There's a lot of them that didn't fuck with that shit. I'll give you one right now. There's a chick named Maguette Wade.
Candace Owens?
Huh? No, not Candace Owens. Maguette Wade.
Yeah, I hate her, bro.
Candace, my girl, so we could debate on that another time. But
okay, yeah.
Maguette Wade, she's from Senegal. I was just watching her interview with what's this guy's name on Lex Friedman, and she said the same thing. She goes, "Look, she calls herself a conscious capitalist, and Senegalese people. Let me tell you something. They're the most out of the black race. They're silent movers. Because if you come up to New York, these motherfuckers are out here buying up property like nobody's business, and then they're not out here bragging and doing all that shit. They're just very quiet about it. But she was saying it best. She goes, you can't be successful in business and have these leftist ideologies. You can't, because
that's true.
What do you mean?
Because
but you're saying, but you're a lefty though.
Yeah, well, I don't, because I believe in success for everyone, and not just myself. I believe everyone should be able to live happy lives with enough wage to subsist. And if you're going to become successful in business, I think one of the main facets of that is that you have to, well, not like like you can become rich and still be like a socialist. It depends on like a lot of like CEOs and stuff. They're very pro capitalist because it makes them more money.
Someone's asking, my man Press Human's asking, how old are you?
I'm old enough.
There he goes.
Nah.
Thanks, player.
Making bank.
Yeah, I'm getting rich tonight. What is he saying? Wow. Moe hates Candace Owens. Who'd have thought? He probably likes Sean Malcolm X. Oh, shocking.
I don't know who that is.
Sean
Candace Owens can like catch these, bro.
No, Candace Owens is like.
I will not.
Misanthropik One is
she was talking about slaves once, and she was like
DTX.
Talking about when,
yo, this nigga is weak, bro. DTX speaks. Yo, you can suck my ass, bro.
Yeah, DTX base.
Yeah,
bro.
you didn't see what he said? You want me to put it up again? You want me to read it to you?
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it? Yeah,
that's
the shit. That's the shit a nigga got to deal with, because I don't think like how black people are supposed to think. Yo, shit like that is fucking funny, bro.
I'm not gonna talk on that.
Yeah, listen,
I'm not
man.
gonna talk on that. I just think that's like Kanye level contrarianism.
No, listen, again. Look, if you say real shit, I don't care what you say. If it's real, it's real. I don't care about the source. People sit here, oh well,
I feel
this
that, man.
person's Donald Trump, this one's this. If the person's saying real shit, I'm gonna say, yeah, that's true. You can't, we're too emotionally wrapped up in shit nowadays. Too emotionally wrapped up in shit.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you either rock with someone. If someone's saying real shit, I'm gonna say, okay, yeah, I agree with that. That's it.
Definitely. What are we talking about? Before we made $5 million
and wrap it up. Dude, this is long, bro. And pause again.
Do like I'd rather do trans shit.
Trans shit?
I'd rather do like trans. Yeah.
Well, what do you want to say about
that?
Shit?
I just think that trans women are women, trans men are men.
Oh, Jesus! You want to go back to that?
Yeah.
Listen, bro. Hey, I'm in. Listen, you identify as what you want, but reality is reality, bro. That's where I'm. At.
Yeah, in biology is the same, but being a woman is not a biological thing. Being a woman isn't a biological thing. It's a social thing. It's social. Bro. Okay, then tell me.
So you want me to tell you? You want me to just say,
no, hold on.
Let's do it on the inverse.
What about?
Let's do it on the inverse.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look at you and just call you a woman. If I see you coming down the street, I'm just gonna say you're a woman, because that's how I see you. We could play that game.
You know what?
You see the lens? Do you see the lengths you can take this to?
You know why I'm not a woman? Because
Why?
I don't identify as one.
Yeah, but
If I
no, but I'm saying if we reverse this whole thing, I could say, well, that's how I see you. You're a woman. Now what?
well, I'd say I'm not a woman, and I have an
No,
argument
no,
for it.
but that's the way I see you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'd say
I
that's your
see you
problem.
as
You know why I have an
that.
argument for why trans women are women.
Okay.
It's because gender and sex aren't the same thing. So like tell me this.
Go ahead.
What about the XX chromosome, the female chromosome? What does that
Mhm.
have to do with dresses and staying in the house and taking care of the kids?
That what
Like
do you mean?
is there a
It's
biological
not,
correlation between
there's
those, or is
no
it a
rule
social one?
for it. It's not, there's no rule.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
check it out though. But more women are inclined to do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just like more men are inclined to hunt, protect, build. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no
Those are
rules saying that. Just like,
so you're
okay,
saying
just like there's men that are, how do I put it? Just like there's I guess for lack of a better word,
males. You can say
soft
males.
men. Huh?
Soft men? You said soft men?
Yeah, like we'll say it like a
Okay.
metrosexual. That don't mean anything. You know what I'm saying?
That
No,
ain't
there's
Yeah,
straight men.
I agree.
They're just more in tune with their feminine side.
I know what I get that. I'm saying
Right.
that like
So
masculinity and femininity. Hold on. I'd say
go
that's
ahead.
part of gender, which is a big web of interlocking cultural norms, roles, and ideas. You know, if I care for the baby, you know, if I get a wife and I care for the baby, that's like me being in, you know, a more feminine position because if that's what our culture decided. You know, that would be a more womanly thing to do. So
Yeah,
there's really nothing we can do to like define what a woman is.
yeah.
Like,
A woman is a adult human female. It's a female.
no,
Yeah, it
no,
is.
that
What are
female. We
you
have two
talking?
different words
That's
for that, man.
exactly what it is.
No,
Yes. What are you
that's part of
talking about? Yeah,
the
you got
like
ovaries,
distinct.
you got a
That's
pussy, you got
definitions.
titties. That's
I can
your
argue
female.
definition. Okay.
I mean, it's not
Definitions.
difficult.
Definitions aren't like there are no objective definitions.
Yes,
Like
are you,
definitions aren't objective.
okay, so then let's throw out the dictionary then. Words don't mean shit.
What? Okay. Tell me what makes a definition objective.
The fact that everyone agrees on it. The fact that
I
society as a
disagree with
whole.
that.
What
I disagree. I
are you talking about?
disagree with that
Oh,
definition.
basically you're saying that a dictionary has no purpose whatsoever. That's what
Wait,
I'm
so the
saying.
dictionary
Word,
defines it?
say it
The
again.
dictionary defines it? The dictionary defines it?
The world, no. Language, what people as a society,
Yeah, we make up language.
if we have if we have a disagreement on something, we can go right to that and reference it. So you're saying, well, there's no such thing as objective definitions. Well, yeah,
There
that's the
aren't.
whole
Like
point. That's the whole point of a
there are no
dictionary.
Yeah, exactly. There are no objective. Now that they're different
Yeah,
dictionaries. Dictionaries are
no,
just like there's what society
you
decides
want
to put
words to
in
be
dictionaries.
subjective. That
They
don't work,
are. No, they
dude.
are.
Okay,
Words
so
are subjective.
then yeah, that's what a nickname is, my guy.
Sorry,
That's
what?
what a nickname is. A
What?
nickname is subjective,
No,
not
it's not.
like no one.
This has nothing to do with nicknames.
Huh?
This has nothing to do with nicknames. It's a language as a concept. We make it up. We change words to fit our
Let me tell you
to fit
something.
our
You say
culture.
you're a hip hop head, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You
I
have
have a
hip
rap
hop
if you want to hear
slang,
it.
right? Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I
Yeah.
have a rap if you want to hear it. What?
Maybe later.
It's
But
pretty good. I
you
produced it too, man.
you're insane.
I'm
Look,
talented, man. I'm
so okay. So you go through hip hop slang, right? You
Sure.
know this slang.
Yeah.
This stuff,
Plug.
yeah, plugs, all that shit. It gets to be accepted. It's not forced. You're not gonna how do I put we're getting off, but I'm trying to hang on to the pronoun thing at the same time. And
No, the
dragging me
woman
all over
thing,
the
the
place.
womanhood and manhood thing.
The woman, yeah, okay. As society, let's put it this way. We'll go to the man, woman, trans shit. Put it this way, because a lot of feminists, one feminist wrote an article on this. Out of all the misinterest bullshit that these women spew, you know what they look for at the end of the day?
What?
A man. They go look for
Sorry?
a masculine ass man. That's what they want. And then they define what it is. So there is a difference. But people nowadays are putting their feelings
can we bring it back to
well, look, if I'm this, I woke up today. Don't get me started on that fluid shit. I'm not even gonna go into that. But well, today I feel like this. It's like, well, I mean, come on,
fluid?
bro. Like I know
you're
fucking around, bro. At this point, I know you're fucking around.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that there's something like in you that makes you a baseball fan? Or is it just you call yourself? Yes, I know male breasts don't. I know men or males and females are different biologically.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Oh, it slipped out. Yeah, males and females, not men and women. But yeah, so what was I saying?
Something about me being a baseball fan.
Right. There's nothing objective that makes you a baseball fan. That's all it's all your own identity for yourself, you know?
Yeah, it's something that you gather as like, that's something on the outside that
No,
you
it's not. Of being a fan of baseball, that's something you decide for yourself.
Yeah, that's
You
what I'm
decide
saying.
if you identify as a baseball fan.
That it's something on the outside that affects you that you say, okay, yeah, I like that shit. That doesn't.
No, it's not on the outside. It's on the inside. You realize if you like baseball,
something that is not intrinsically in you, but then you absorb it. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And you put that in part of your identity. That's all like inside. That's a thing inside of you, right?
Yes.
It's sort of like that with gender, because like we look out and we see that feminine roles are like, stay in the house, feed the baby, and like clean up the kitchen, make a sandwich. Some people, they feel that's me.
Y'all, bro. This is what I'm talking about. That's you, bro. That's you.
No, I'm a man. I feel like a man, bro. I feel
no.
You should
I'm
see
not
me right
saying
now.
that's you. That's a woman.
Six-pack.
No, I'm saying, dude. This is why again I don't get down with leftism, because the biggest people that perpetuate these problems are you're the one saying that women should stay in the kitchen. It's like, listen, there's a lot of women that are inclined to do that don't have an issue with that. Culturally, outside of America, particularly outside of America, a lot of women that are westernized and have the ability to not do that still are inclined to do that.
Well, yeah, some women want to stay in the kitchen. That's fine and great.
And
I don't see any.
And women that have babies.
I don't see any.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't see any leftists telling you that you can't stay in the house and do anything.
No,
it's all about the freedom that you shouldn't have to stay in the house.
I'm repeating what you said, like, because you believe that gender roles are, oh, well, you have to do this. No, they are there.
No. They're like, they're coded like culturally, and we can determine them, and
that's what it
realize
is. It's just like going back
and
to
they change.
but it's always the one thread that has been constant throughout time. You could trace it back. Men were always going out here.
Not true at all. Not true in the slightest.
For the most part, I'm saying. Of course, not every guy was doing that, but men were going out. They were going out hunting, killing, doing all this shit. Yeah, I know you have the woman king coming out and
most
all
of
this
the time.
Shit.
The women worked on the farm for vast majority human civilization.
Right.
They both worked on the farm.
Part of nurturing. That's part of nurturing. Hey, look, the woman's gonna
Working on the
cook.
farm, doing heavy labor. I don't think that women in the 1960s were.
A woman working on the farm don't mean that you lifting bales of hay constantly. She
It
women
does.
weren't probably doing that shit. Women probably milking cows, feeding animals, shit like that. Probably
that's
doing
still hard work. That's still work, and it's still different from what women in like the 40s were thought to do.
I'm not debating
The point here is that gender roles are not like, they're not static, not even like in one period of time. There's always women. There's always women that even back in the 1940s, there were women that they worked or they went out and did things that aren't just like be a baby machine for your husband.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, listen, and again,
it's a spectrum.
Listen,
it's not binary.
I'm a big proponent of women going out here doing whatever the fuck you want. I would never stop and say, nah, bro, you got to stay in the kitchen. I would never say that. I'm a big proponent of a two-parent household, meaning both parents go out and work. But at the end of the day, if shit was to go down, and I would go out on a limb and say majority of women, if shit was to go down, you know who they're gonna look to? They're gonna look to a man to go and say, hey, look, yo, you got to do this. Why is it that they say, hey, listen, if a boat is sinking, women and children get off first? Because the man got to come and carry them and say, listen, you go. We're gonna try and help.
No, that's not actually why women and children went first.
But I'm saying
whatever.
The man is supposed to be the brave one and step up. That's part of the role, right?
Yeah, that's part of the roles that we have constructed. That's part of the roles that we have constructed. That's not part of like culture. That's not a part of biology.
Inside, in Hollywood.
That's not a part of biology. That's a part of culture.
But what culture, dude? It's been happening.
The culture of men dying on the boat while the women and children go first.
Let's just put it this way.
That's culture.
I want you to do me a favor. Go outside and see if a majority of women are gonna want a man that is gonna be sobbing and crying all the time, or a man that takes charge. Tell me what answer you're gonna get majority of the time, and don't fucking lie. Tell me what they're gonna tell you.
I don't see how this disproves that gender roles are cultural and not biological. Like, even if most women like want a man that's strong and takes charge, that's still it could have like some root in biology. I'm not saying it doesn't. Gender is like based on biology roughly, but it's gender is still a social thing. Nothing about biology means a man wears a suit and a woman wears a dress. That's cultural. It's part of gender.
You can be a man in a dress.
Exactly.
You're a man though. You're a man. You can't come to me and say, "Well, I'm a woman." Nah, if I'm looking at you and you got because I'm saying Adam's apple and a full beard. Yeah, I'm not. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to.
So if a woman has a full beard and an Adam's apple, does that make them?
Yeah, I'm gonna be confused. I'm gonna be confused. Yeah.
Well, it's not about you. I'm talking like objectively. Like, does that mean you're a woman if you have an Adam's apple?
If I see it, if I see the person,
yeah.
Yeah, so then it is.
No, I mean, does that make them a woman? Like, what is one thing that all women have?
One thing that all women have
in your eyes,
ovaries, titties.
So there are women without breasts. So if you don't have breasts, you're not a woman. No, it's like this is important logic, huh?
Women without breasts.
Yeah.
Then you got a pussy.
So if
you're not gonna have an Adam's apple, you're not born Adam's apple.
If you get your pussy like inverted, that doesn't like. Are you still a woman?
Yes,
like, that's a thing, man.
Yes.
Well, then, like, why?
Because of again, we'll go back to your chromosomes. It goes to your insides. Goes to your core. You can't just tell me. You can't just tell me.
That's what the word female is for.
you can't just tell me you are, and all of a sudden I'm magically supposed to just agree with it.
It's not
That's just
magic.
how
It's
it is.
just reality. Look, I don't like gender. You know, I think all gender should be abolished. Because like it's dumb, yeah, calling people like it's complicated. You look at people and you don't know what gender they are or like what their inside feelings are. It's complicated. I think we should just like get rid of it entirely. You know, sex based differences will still exist, but gender as a yeah.
Oh my
You know,
god.
I'm not in
That is
favor.
true.
I'm not in favor of the draft, bro.
That is true, bro. And by the way, again, the reason why shit like this is important, for example, you got to go to the doctor. You listen, reality is going to hit. You go to the doctor, you got to go in for certain, uh, procedures. Guess what? You got to say certain things. You got to say, well, yeah. So all
Well,
that
yeah,
shit goes
obviously,
out the window. So let's not play. Look,
because
I'm all
hospitals
about,
don't because
huh?
that's not gender. Because hospitals don't ask what gender they are. They ask what sex you are. Sex is biological. Gender is
But the
social.
whole thing is getting twisted. The thing is,
Huh?
when you used to say, hey, look, you're a man, look, we all know man, male, whatever.
Nah, trans people have always existed.
Is people now are just now you're oh well, I'm gonna wear a dress today and I'm gonna expect the world to know that I'm a woman. Come on, dude. Like
Now there's
gotta
it's not just like I'm gonna wear a dress. It's an identity thing. It's like the baseball fan thing, you know. Like imagine you, okay? You like you feel like a man, right? You feel like a
yes,
man. But
yes,
oh yeah, sunglasses indoors.
yep, that's
But
right.
so
Yeah, listen, I
if you
look
woke up,
damn good too.
you look damn good. Yeah, you
Thank
do.
you.
But tomorrow, if you woke up, I said this before, if you woke up, you had a big pair of honkers and you had a fat ass and you had like, you know, female genitalia and a womb,
Hmm. Hmm.
but you still felt like a man, that would
Hmm.
make you a man.
Well, wait,
It
wait.
would make you a female.
If I if I was born like this, and then tomorrow I had a surgery and I had
You
titties.
were a female. No, if you had like XX chromosome, everything, you're a female.
If
But
I
you
was
felt the
born
same way.
female,
But you feel the same way about your masculinity that you do right now. That would mean you have gender dysphoria. That would make you trans.
no.
That's
If
what trans people go through.
if I look, if I was more inclined to do stuff that a guy, I guess, would do, is that what you're saying?
No, you feel like a
I
guy.
don't
You
know.
feel the way you do now.
I
You see like
don't.
you see men in like in media and you feel like, yeah, that's me. Like I want to live like that, you know.
Yeah, but again, at the end of the day, the truth is you're born as this. That's
Yeah,
all
you're born
people.
as a
That's
female.
all I'm saying is like, yeah. So look, I'm gonna say, yeah, that's a woman, but this is what she identifies as now. That's only if I know the person personally. All these people on the outside, I don't really give a shit because I got my own problems I got to deal with. Now, if you're
I mean,
respectful, you're like, hey, look,
it
this is, oh yeah,
it
okay, cool.
depends.
You know what I mean? But this whole,
You're still making it about like your self perception of like trans people, which is like that's not really what I'm arguing against here. I'm arguing
Mhm,
that like, you know, people, the way they feel about themselves, their identity, how they see themselves in society, that
right,
matters when it comes to if they're a man or a woman. And what doesn't matter is their biology, because like that doesn't their biology doesn't come up in like, you know, me. If Ryan Reynolds turns out he has like XX chromosomes, that doesn't mean he's not a man and does manly things. That means he's like, you know, he's just a female. I just use Ryan Reynolds as the first one that came to mind, you know.
so what if we found out tomorrow that he had XX?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
he's
would say,
still like,
well, he's a woman. He is a woman, but now he identifies as a guy. That's all I would
well,
say.
yeah, I said
That's all I would
that makes him a
say. But
guy. He's still a female. It's
in my mind, yeah, it's a woman.
oh well,
So you're
that's just like
talking
how
about,
that's how you feel. but that's how you feel.
But don't you understand? That's how the world is. We're visual,
No, it's
and it's
well,
we're talking
if
about
I wore a wig,
we're talking about objective truth.
we're talking
about objective truth. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah, there are no objective truths when it comes to definitions.
Yes, there
When it
is.
comes to definitions,
You want to go back to that?
all right.
You really want to go back to that?
Yeah, because it's essential. I can. Here's my argument. Ready?
You're trying to
Ready?
defeat the definition, the reason for a dictionary existing, bro. That's dangerous.
No, I can tell you. Ready?
Go ahead.
Like, what happens if dictionaries disagree?
With what?
Other dictionaries. What if they have different definitions?
They don't. It's gonna
what
be.
If they do though?
Off of what
they do. Plus, dictionaries aren't like.
The only ones that do are the ones that succumb to this woke shit. Like now they're changing the definition. They're changing the definition of racism.
Definitions change all the time.
They're changing the definition of race. Yeah, because people's feelings
definitions always
involved.
I'd say that's
in this day and age is feelings that are defining everything.
That's how they've always been done, because people feel definitions should be changed, so they do. I think making lives better for trans people is a good reason to change the definition. You know, making them feel good is a great reason to change definitions.
So what does racism mean?
It can mean a lot of things. It can manifest in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, that's my point. So tomorrow it can mean something else. That's why I don't take racism seriously.
Yeah, it can.
Racism don't mean shit.
Take
racism don't mean shit to me. It don't.
Bringing it back to the trans thing.
No, I'm saying no. It is still a trans topic, but I'm saying you're saying, well, there's no objective truths. Okay, so let's throw the dictionary away. So
no.
Dictionaries
are just words that
this pen right here is a fucking flower.
No,
my
it's
cell phone is
I can tell you why.
Is a flower pot.
I can tell you why they're not.
What do you mean?
Because we did not choose, like, culturally that's a good thing to call those. You know, we call them different things because
but I'm saying it is for me. Because you said feelings are a reason, so I feel that this is a flower pot. That's how I feel.
Well, good for you, man. I don't.
Okay. Well,
I have an argument for why.
So you're proving you're proving my point then. So you do see how
I get it. I get what you're trying to say.
You're proving my point. I'm not gonna let you walk that back. You're proving my point. So if someone says, "Hey, look, I'm this," and I say, "Well, cool, whatever. You could do whatever you want. I don't see you that way, but okay. What's the problem? You just proved that."
Words. Here's the problem.
You don't want to touch that, right?
As a society, we have decided that.
Huh?
What?
No, I didn't hear what you said.
No, but like, okay, so wait, what did I say? Right. I have an argument for why it's not a flower.
You gotta run that through your head.
But like, if everybody, well, yeah, I gotta think about things I say. You know.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so like, if everybody tomorrow decided to change the definition of a pen to the word flower pot, then that would be a flower pot. You know, we make up language.
Isn't that what I just said, dude? I said to you, that's why a dictionary, it has objective meanings.
No, it doesn't. Because
society's the objective. They're saying, yes, we all agree that this is what it is. That's my point.
Right.
That's my fucking
But people
point.
disagree. People disagree with words.
Okay.
People disagree with words. The only
there's a vocal minority of people that are running around
most people respect trans people. Most people respect trans people. Like, dude, that's a big thing.
I agree.
Every major city.
I agree. I'll go back to my original saying that I don't think that any trans people should be persecuted or beat down or killed.
I mean like they believe trans women are women.
Who says that?
like most people
majority of people
nowadays in
listen,
America.
majority of people are scared into saying that shit because they can't go against
That's
it.
That's
They can't
conspiracism.
really.
You just think
Look
that's
at
conspiracy, yeah.
look at what's the name of this dude that's on the swim team, Leah Thomas, right? How many of those people put
Yeah, that's
their
a girl.
face behind? How many of those people put their face behind saying, "Yo, we're against that"? They all had to hide and say it. They didn't come out and
you're
say we're
projecting.
against that. They had to
I
hide
think you're
and say
projecting your.
they weren't cool
I
with
think
it.
that's how you
They all
feel.
say-
I think that's how you feel.
Go
But most
look.
people
Wait, do me a
are
favor right now.
consistent
Go do
on
me a
this thing.
favor and go look. There were people that did not want to
Okay,
put
tell me.
their
Hold on.
face
I wanna ask you something, right? Is
Mhm.
Blair White a woman? Is Blair
No,
White a woman?
no,
But you used she.
yes, because in
Why
my
did you use
eyes,
she?
yeah, I do. Yeah, I do it for her because visually, yeah, I'll say she. She looks like a woman, but she herself
Okay.
admits. She says it herself. She goes, "Yeah, I'm a dude." That's what she says.
Oh yeah, because she's transphobic.
Yeah, okay, that's transphobia. She's saying,
Yeah, it
yeah,
is.
I was born a man, but I had gender dysphoria, and this was my way of handling it. She's just
I guess
saying, yeah, this is what it is.
I don't. Okay.
Well, how's that
I
transphobic?
don't know. I don't know how they identify, but yeah,
it's
Blair White's
literally,
the most.
literally,
She's the most self-hating. She's very self-hating.
There's
Though.
no self-hating in that shit.
There is
Listen,
definitely
how is
self-hate,
it?
man. You seen
How is it
that like
self-hating?
debate panel with her? They're just like
How is it self-hate?
ganging up, man.
Yo, she cuts heads off motherfuckers, bro. Like, stop playing.
Nah. It was a bunch of Christians.
Cuts heads
They were
off
just like,
motherfuckers. She's probably
"You're
the
of
best.
course a dude."
Huh?
Nah. She's also a neo-Nazi, man.
You just don't agree with her. Just say that. But
No, she's like an actual like neo-Nazi.
yeah,
Like
okay.
she's
Yeah,
no, like
okay.
actually, you seen that, man?
She's not a
No,
Nazi.
I just remembered this.
Dude,
No, it's off topic. Okay, whatever. But yeah, so like
so
what you're doing is
again,
language
when you look at the
prescriptivism.
word, okay, when you
You're
look at the
thinking
word
that
transgender or transsexual, what does that mean?
yeah,
What does that mean?
it
What
means
does
that
trans mean? Let's just keep it simple. What does trans mean?
I can tell you. I can tell you. It means you. Well, yeah, that's what the prefix means.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
It means being transgender is when you don't identify
from what to what.
One gender identity to another.
Great.
What?
Dude. Someone is, if the person, again, Blair White, says, look, I was born a guy, but I don't feel like I am. Now I'm a woman. Listen,
yeah.
If I saw this person down the street, I'm gonna say, and I didn't know shit about her, I would say, yeah, that's a female.
What you're making it about you again.
That's my point, though. If it's you going down the street,
that's only in your perception.
This is the world, though. You want to play this game that everyone should know, but at the end of the day, off this YouTube shit, guess what?
No, I get it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go out into the street.
I understand your position.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I'm saying that how you look doesn't determine your gender. You know, if I put on a wig, you might say she. That doesn't mean like I'm a woman, you know? Well, if I identified as a woman, like
if I'd be a woman. Like look, if I see how do I put it? Again, I'll use her. I'm gonna say it looks like a woman. She went to the lengths to go do that. Isn't that the whole point? To go when
no, because what a woman looks like is to you is like that's essentially like in your lenses.
Objectively, that's what a woman looks like.
To you.
Objective.
Not to anybody else.
You want to go back into this objective shit again? You want to go back
because it's important. Yeah, objectively, that's what she looks like to you. Okay, because like another person who's raised
to me, that's subjective. To the world, that's why people say she. When she debated Ben Shapiro, what did Ben Shapiro say to her?
I don't know. I'm not
Ben Shapiro said the same thing. He goes, yeah, if I was meeting you for lunch and you were sitting in the corner and the maitre d came up and said, "Hey, are you meeting her?" I would say, "Yeah, I'm meeting her," because
Okay.
he knows, society knows, okay, that looks
That
like a
doesn't.
woman. He's not gonna sit there and figure out, well, hey,
So
look,
if
that's a no one has time for that.
I understand that, I
Yeah,
understand that,
so it
but
does
that you gotta say, you
is
gotta say, you gotta say, your predisposition to what a woman looks like is clouded through all your years of upbringing of what a woman should look like. Mine too. I think women look a certain way, but someone who grows up in like India will think a woman like has a
don't
burqa
pick
on
India, bro. Do not
because
pick
the
India.
gender roles because the gender role. Huh? Oh
Go
shit,
ahead.
wrong country.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So
Go
yeah,
ahead.
you know,
I see your point. Go ahead.
Muslims. Yeah, that's a
No,
slip,
no, 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 no,
yeah,
no, no, no. Go ahead.
but
I see
yeah,
what you're trying to
because
say.
like
Go ahead.
what you refer to people as because of what you think a woman should look like. That's through your own like eyes, and your
Objectively, that's how
experiences.
the world thinks. We're visual.
No, it's how
Not
you
going
think,
never.
buddy.
It's not me, dude. Are you kidding me? We both know that if I
If you
came
ask,
to you, I came to your house right now, and we walked outside, and we just ran into random people, and we took them and said, "Hey, point to me what a woman is." It don't have to
yeah,
be me.
because we live
They're
in
gonna say the
essentially
same
the same
thing,
area, bud.
huh?
But if I see someone with short hair and they're a woman, that doesn't mean they're not a woman.
Yeah, because
It's all a matter of identity because it gets so
you can have
complex.
short hair and be a woman.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, right. But
Yeah,
again,
and
people are
you should
going to
refer to them how they want to be referred to as.
people.
There's not one thing that makes you a woman other than how you identify.
There's
Because
not one
it gets all complex
one
if
thing
you're
that
trying to
makes
like.
you a woman. Yeah, I told you. I say if you look a certain way, if you're curvy and all of that stuff, what you're doing.
I know some small booby women. I'll tell
Yeah,
you,
but again, at the end of the
some
day,
very androgynous looking people.
there's a reason why you go into a clothing store. They have a men's section, they have a women's section, right?
You can wear
And
things from the
what I'm
women's section.
yeah, I know that, but I'm saying women. I'm saying, but you're still. What are women gonna do if I come walking in there looking like this, and I start fucking picking out dresses and panties? What's gonna happen? People are gonna be like, "Yo, what's this? What's he doing here?" You know what I mean? He's trying this shit on and
Okay,
shit. Yeah. So
that's
obviously,
that's their problem.
it's not the norm. It may be. You're right. It may be, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
not the
the norm.
norm. Those are all
It's not the
cultural. These
norm.
are all
And
cultural
and again,
ideas.
and
These are
again,
not
and if you
biological.
ask, and in that example, if you ask those women, who is that person right there? They're gonna say some dude.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's because their
exactly.
experiences. That's because their
So
experiences are clouded through.
objectively
It's
speaking,
not.
it is. You're saying
It's
subjective because you're talking about one person, but objectively, if we went
you're
out,
talking about every one person. Cause
yeah,
like
majority of when you're saying
if I
objective,
go out,
I'm talking about
okay,
the
hear this,
majority,
hear this. Okay, hypothetically, right? You're in like Scandinavia or something, and
right?
and this is an alternate universe where women shave their heads
Yeah, see, you
and
have to
men.
preface it with alternate universe.
Well, yeah, because it's a
Go ahead.
hypothetical.
Go ahead.
It's so when women shave their heads in this place because that's part of their gender norms. Because gender is social and not biological, and the men just keep their luscious golden locks. Right? If you take if you take some normal
Yes,
dude from
Trevin.
like from Scandinavia, right there, bring him into America, ask where's the woman, he's gonna say like the dude with the shorter hair. Because that it's all just subjective. Like that's just your view of what a woman should look like, not what a
What do you
woman
mean?
is.
What a woman with so if a woman has short hair, you think that I'm gonna say that she's a dude?
If well, yeah, if she's wearing like masculine clothing and has masculine features, you'll say
No,
you'll think she's a
that's
dude.
not true.
Well,
Look
yeah,
up a woman.
if she looks like a dude to you,
Look up a. There's women
if
that have chiseled faces or have that are more masculine, I guess you could say, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
muscle
they're
dominant
women.
mommies.
Go look up a woman named Bridget Nielsen.
I know of these women. Yeah, but there are
that's a
some women
woman.
you would look
That's
at in public, right? And think, wow, that's a dude. Okay.
what?
If they just
Bridget
dress,
Nielsen? Bridget
huh? No,
Nielsen?
I'm not talking about Bridget Nielsen. I'm talking
Who would
about
I
like
think what I think is a
there
dude.
is a there could like you could see someone, right, and think they're a
Mm-hmm.
dude. Turns out they're a girl, right? That's a thing that could happen.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
shows how gender isn't a one or two thing.
Well, but then again, there's a lot of those women that have those traits. They openly admit, yeah, like for example,
I
China.
look like a dude, but I'm not a dude.
China
That's gender roles.
From wrestling. She when she was getting popular, she used to come in. She had a strong jawline and this and that. And what happened when she became more popular? She chiseled her jawline so she'd be more feminine and this and that. I mean, yeah, some people are going to be like,
Yeah,
but
some women
but
would look like dudes to you, and some men would look like women to you, right? Have you ever seen a femboy?
a
Have you ever seen a
femboy?
femboy? Yeah,
Yeah.
they look like girls, but they're still
Uh,
dudes.
yeah, but again, you could see that.
That's all based on your perception, okay? Not
No,
everyone has the same perception as you.
most people would
Yeah, but that's
most people
I
would go with, yeah, that's why I keep sticking with
bro,
objectiveness in
this is
society.
not an object. You said most people. That's
Yeah,
not all
that's
people. Even if
objective.
it's all
That's
people, that
that's
means it's
why
all
that's
people's
why
subjective
that,
interpretation.
that's why things are objective. Going back to the
No,
dictionary thing, because majority of people
dictionaries are just
back
books
and
people
say
write, man.
that majority of people sit back and say, yes, this is what we're agreeing on for this to work. It's the same thing. Oh, okay. It's the same thing as language.
That's
It's the
not what
same thing as
objectivity is
language.
called.
It's the same
Language
thing
is
as language. If
okay.
we
Okay,
didn't have any rules for language, we
hold
wouldn't
on.
be able to understand each other, right? Or
Sorry?
better yet, put it this way: if someone was killed, right? Someone went and shot somebody. Person disappears, and I happen to see the person, right? The cops come.
Can you say that again?
What the fuck should I
Wait, hold
say?
on. One sec. All right, can you speak again?
You hear me?
Yeah. Can you say that all again? Since someone was shot.
Okay, so let's say that, for example, I witnessed someone being killed, right?
Right.
And I see the person run off into the night or whatever. So the cops come, they go, hey, what'd you see? Well, I saw this person. Well, what did they look like? Well, appeared to be a woman. How do you know that? Well, because had tits and ass and blah 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 blah. It looked like a womanly fit. Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it. Looks like a woman. Yeah.
So objectively,
that's fine.
That's what I'm saying. That's how we communicate. That's how we communicate.
Yeah, language is how we communicate. It's not objective.
Sir, you're trying to do. I see what you're trying
to do. The person who killed.
You're taking it out just to take your shit, but it's fucking true, because if we didn't communicate like this, we'd be lost.
I get that. I'm saying that what you think, what women in society wear is not based on biology.
Say that again. Wait, what women?
What women in society wear? It's not biological.
Yes, like a woman. Like, put it this way, like a woman, like tomboys. I grew up with tomboys. Yeah, I understand that, but I can still say at the end of the day, that's a girl. That's a woman.
Because they look like a girl. But all these feminine features, all these so-called feminine features, like they're cis women, like born as a woman, raised as a woman, who don't have each of these features, but are still women, Being recognizable as a woman is not part of womanhood. I can, if I tried hard enough, I could pass as a girl, I could go on like hormone replacement therapy.
listen, if
and
you want to
stuff.
go through that shit,
Plus,
you
passing on
wanna do
anything,
that
man.
shit, hey, listen, bro. I
That's
listen that hey,
what?
I'm just saying. At the end of the day, you're gonna sit here when it comes down to it. We all know that you can't get past that.
Past
You
what?
can't. The fact remains is that there's a saying that we're
Wait, hold
visual.
on, hold on, hold on. Freaking sound is not working.
Peace, Carlos.
All right. Wow, that guy's self-important, bro. All right.
I've seen video. Wait, what did he say? I've seen videos of pronouns people fight. Call the cops and then tell the cops he attacked me. I'm a woman.
My guy, where is your chin at? Truth teller, bro.
and by the
You look
way,
like a Bob's Burgers character.
yeah, and by the way, that's the other thing too, that you're gonna have people take so much advantage of that it's not even funny.
Nah,
You're going to have
they don't.
people mark my words. You're going to have people. I know you're going to say, oh, but that's like a one-off. And all. The fact remains that once you set precedence for something, is going to, I mean, you're laughing, but that's how.
No, because like it doesn't happen. There's data, man. There's data on this stuff.
Listen.
I know you don't care about data, but it's just facts.
No,
so, like,
you're right. Listen, you're right. You can bring up all the stats in the world. That's fine. What I'm saying to you, for example, this whole, I don't want to get dragged into this. This is going on long, but like this COVID thing, people were saying, 2 years ago, people were saying certain things that, they got them censored. Guess what we're doing today? The same thing that those people were saying that got them censored.
What do you mean? Like, do you mean government censorship?
I don't want to go
like
into that because they're gonna, I don't want to go into it because on YouTube they're pussies and they'll nuke the stream for that.
You're putting this on YouTube?
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah. So the thing is, once you start certain things and you see them pass, what comes behind it? The next thing.
That's a slippery slope fallacy. That's a logical fallacy.
No, there's a saying.
No, it's true. It's true. It's the line of reasoning that like because one thing happens, then a way worse thing will happen, which is just not true in most cases.
Yes,
it's not true, man. It's not true.
Okay. What were 10 years ago, you would laugh if someone said, yeah, a male is going into a woman's dressing room.
Yeah,
now it is, and people women are the ones getting pissed off about it, not guys.
No, you know who else gets pissed off? Who gets more pissed off about it? You know what the alternative here is that trans women, who often pass as women, use the men's restroom, which increases the rate of sexual assault like tenfold.
How?
Like
if you're a guy and you got your dick going to
when was the last time you saw a dick in a restroom? Like are you talking about
I'm not looking for dicks in restrooms.
Like,
I'm saying if you yourself have a dick, go into the guy's bathroom.
No, but like how would they know? How would you know if like someone next to you had a pussy like in a restroom?
What? I'm not looking.
With stalls?
Bro. I'm not looking.
Exactly. How would you know?
Women are in there. Women are in, like, let me just be specific. In what was it? LA, which of all places. In LA, right? I think it was called the Wee Spa. There's a women's section.
A Wee Spa?
No, that's what it's called. Wee Spa.
How's it called? How's it spelled?
I think it's WEI or WI Spa. Just look up LA Spa trans issue if you're looking it up. Okay. But you had women in there's a women's area, exclusively women.
Yeah, okay.
Guy came in, they didn't say anything, but undressed and had a swinging dick as the person was going into the spa. What do you mean? They happen to see it and they're like, hello, like, what are you doing? And
that
that's a slippery slope because
you know
some women are uncomfortable with that.
you know something? Back in like no, different point. Like you can still, like if you're a dude, you can still walk into a bathroom and swing your dick around. Even without like trans bathrooms. Then the problem isn't that they're trans bathrooms. It's that like even if you're in a trans friendly bathroom, it's still illegal to like indecently expose yourself in a bathroom. Like that.
Well, no,
It
but
doesn't make it legal to
this
rape
thing was
someone in a trans
exclusively
bathroom.
women.
What?
With this thing, it was exclusively women.
Okay. He could
Yeah,
have, even if it wasn't exclusively women, he could have still walked in. You do
yeah,
realize, right?
and he would and had it. What do you mean? No, the point is that
No,
they
he
have
could have
their
still walked
spaces.
in.
The point is they still have spaces, right? Women
Yeah,
have
he could have
space.
walked in the space even if it wasn't pro-trans.
I don't understand what point you're making.
He could have walked in the bathroom even if it wasn't trans friendly. He could have indecently
No,
exposed himself.
it was a spa,
Yeah,
like
the spa.
like
Yeah,
a sauna type shit that was
he could
for.
have gone in anyway. He could have gone in otherwise. And would
No,
it be better if he was a
you should have went
big?
in the male one.
Would it be better if he was in a big like muscular? If he was a like assuming he looks like a dude, right? Would it be
Mhm.
better if he had a pussy and like was a big muscular dude and went into the woman's bathroom or spa? Would that be better?
Um,
Because I don't know if you've seen trans dudes. They're mostly like 5'6" gym bros, totally yoked.
Trans dudes.
Yeah,
So
it's a thing.
okay, so they're identifying. So they're looking like guys,
In some cases, yeah.
and
They just identify as guys and have a pussy.
then you should go into again. I feel the safe solution is to go into where whatever genitals you match, go into that room.
So you really
Because like
think
you
that
said,
a bunch
said
of
before,
like women.
you said before, there's women that look masculine, right? And they
Yeah,
got pussy.
exactly.
So
Exactly, man.
no, but in this case, this was a women's section, and a guy went in with his dick out, and there were women that were
Okay.
complaining, and they said, "No, yo, what the
Okay.
fuck?" And my thing is, yeah, I agree with them because you should go into where your genitals match. So
Why?
that person should have went into the men's section.
I
He still got a dick.
disagree.
Hey, listen,
Unless he was like sexually assaulting people, I don't see a problem. Back in like Jim Crow, white women would like complain about black
go.
women going into their bathrooms.
Here we go.
I don't care about the opinion.
Here we go with that comparison again.
It's a good comparison. I don't care about bigots being uncomfortable. I care about the freedom of the marginalized people to use the bathrooms they want.
It don't matter who it hurts as long as you feel good about it. I know.
No, I don't care about the. Oh yeah, and what about the poor white women when they see a Negro walk into their bathroom and terrorize them?
Go tell me the color of the woman that was complaining, that was the most vocal in that spa video.
I don't care because it's not the 1940s.
So it has nothing to do with white women.
It's not the 1940s. I'm talking about a different time frame, man.
Huh?
I'm talking about a different time frame and white, or in this case, cis victimhood.
Again,
if I see
apples and oranges, and the other thing is, when it came to black people, that was on the books. That's different than LGBTQ.
It is totally on the books.
No, it's not.
Trans people.
No, it's
They're
not. Show
discriminating.
me one law. What law is saying if you gay, you can't go into this locker room? If anything, it services them. How many places I go to? You know how many times now the bathroom things are changed. It says genderless bathroom, or they change the signs and everything. Yeah, things are catered to them now, so I don't want to hear it.
You can still use the genderless bathroom.
I know that, but my point is this: there's nothing
that doesn't detract from you.
nothing on the books that it says like that happened to
it was
people,
it was
that happened to my people. There was nothing on the books saying, yo, if you gay X.
yeah, actually there totally is.
There's nothing. What's on the books besides
people
maybe don't say
trans people were banned from joining the military during Trump.
Why were they?
Because Trump's a transphobe.
Why were they?
Because Trump's a transphobe.
Do you know the reason? Do you know the reason?
Trump is transphobic.
See, but that's your feelings. Do you know the real reason why?
No, because Trump is transphobic. That's the only reason.
Exactly.
They make our military stronger, man.
You just throw out,
I have an argument for why.
You throw out these
argument for why.
things,
I have
and
arguments.
you don't know the real reason.
You want to hear the argument?
Go ahead.
Which is a stronger military? A military with 10 people, or a military with 10 people plus one trans person?
A military with 10 people.
Why?
Because
what
you're neglecting the fact that it wasn't for trans people in general. It's the fact that if you're coming into the military and you're looking at it as a way to finance your way to do cosmetic surgery and do all this shit while you have gender dysphoria, yeah, that's a problem. If you go and handle your shit on your own and then come in, it's the same thing as when people have,
why is the one with 10 people weaker?
When they didn't want people in the military. They didn't want people that were sick. They didn't want any of that. Go handle your issues and then come back. That's what they were saying. They weren't saying that. See, this is the shit that pisses me off, because
we didn't even know trans people couldn't go to the military before I said
it. Any type of criticism, anything that's looked at towards these people, it's horrible. But you don't read into it.
There are actual numbers that show how they're discriminating.
You had one of these guys that was on what was it, a Navy SEAL, that was a trans person.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with they're not letting them in. They're telling
them they couldn't be in the military before that.
Yeah, and you know what? I was talking to one of my boys that's in the military. He goes, "Yeah, it's true, because you have time for the mission. You don't have time for all this other shit. You don't have time for this one, all this other shit."
Yeah, everyone's dealing with.
Bro. I know what gender dysphoria is. It keeps
everyone deals with other shit,
sir.
Especially veterans, bro.
When you go into the military, your mindset is you're a number. Look, we're gonna go do this. We don't have time for you. You got problems. We get it, but you deal with it outside. They want you to come in fresh.
No, man.
If you come in and you go,
everybody is dealing with things,
sir.
When they hire people for the military, they write down all your.
They're not trying to pay for it. It's an extra expense. That's the point. That's what.
You got to write it down before. You got to write down all of your.
That's what they're trying to avoid, because gender dysphoria is a real thing.
Gender dysphoria from the military, my guy.
I didn't say you get it from the military, sir. I didn't say you get it. I didn't say
you're saying that they're trying to save money on like medical expenses. They don't pay for gender dysphoria because they all sign a paper in the beginning saying that all their pre-medical conditions, so the army doesn't have to pay for them.
There are people that go in and with gender dysphoria, right, which is a real thing, and they're all fucked up. It's psychological, this, that, and the third. They're not trying to deal with that. They're not trying to take the burden of that. So you go out.
Don't take the burden of that.
It is a burden
on the military. They have an extra person. But I think.
What? Okay. Let me use your logic. So you're out in the middle of wherever, and you're in a war zone. Now this motherfucker is freaking out and doing X, Y, and Z. They're not going to want to deal with that at the moment. That's my point.
They freak out with PTSD on average soldiers all the time.
What happens with PTSD? You develop it. You don't go in
the military.
That's the point.
People break their legs, and I think I don't think you know this.
Okay, do they hire people? Do they take people with broken legs? Do they take people with broken legs?
No, but they break their legs
that's
in
my
the
point.
military.
That's my point.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Okay, I think you're
Yeah.
equating being trans with having gender dysphoria, which is not the same thing. Being trans is a social thing, but having gender dysphoria is a mental thing. Not all trans people have it. If I take you and I dress you up as a woman, and all of
It's
us
just
tell you
being
you're a
dragged.
woman, you have gender
That
dysphoria.
doesn't mean,
That doesn't
that's
mean
just
you're
being
trans,
dragged.
huh?
That's
There's an
just
actual
being
difference.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Misanthropik One. That's Seal. Name is Kristen Beck. Yeah, that one.
Good for them, man.
Yeah. I'm just bringing it up because you're saying, well, no, everyone's transphobic and this and that. It's not true.
No, that was directly like transphobic.
Yeah, no, it's not, dude. No, it's not.
Banning-
And by the way, I find it so funny that people are so, especially when it comes to like this, and I'll throw feminism in there, or this, I'll say third, fourth wave feminism, because those are both useless.
No, they're actually really good for
You
men too.
want to jump in to all this shit. You want to be equal, and then when it's like, dude, you want to be drafted and do all this, and
Yes.
oh no, we don't want that. You know what I mean?
No. Any like fourth wave feminist. If you ask a fourth wave feminist, they're just going to be against the draft, like entirely. Abolition of gender roles.
So feminism is a farce.
No, feminism's pro men as well.
First and second wave feminism, I'm for. Third, fourth, bullshit. Bullshit. It's a farce, because these women want to pick and choose. They want all the good, but never the bad that comes with equality.
Can I tell you something?
Go ahead, carry these women.
We can have this later, I guess.
Yeah,
I had fun with this. Like, I kind of want to go to sleep. But this was.
I gotta take a ride, bro. I gotta take a long ride.
All right, this was fun as hell, man. We should totally do this some other time.
Yeah, listen, I'm down. Listen,
right.
it ain't nothing.
Listen,
all right, you out?
Take it easy.
All right, player. Peace. All right, guys. Sorry you had to sit through that shit. 2.5 hours. My God. All right. Love y'all. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope people watch this in parts. It got all over the place, but that's it. Love you guys. Nick, I see you, True Teller. See you, all my peoples. That's it. Leave your love, leave your hate. Most of us subscribe, and that's it. Peace, bitches.